Me and Ed Westwick, who played Chuck on the show.
Yes.
You know, he was like an 18-year-old kid from like outside of London. I'm from Texas. Like I was just in college. Like I didn't know how expensive New York is. It was insane. I'm like, my dad had to like give us the like security deposit and first month's and last month's rent.
Right. You couldn't
until we got our first paycheck. It was like hilarious. I'm like, Ed, you want to like room together? And like, this is crazy. Like this rent. I'm looking at this. He's like, oh yeah, sure, man. You know, he had no idea. First summer, we like moving in July. Like probably just turned 21 or 22, and we were like at the summer series in Central Park. I don't know if you remember any of that.
Yep.
But they had like big concerts out there, and it was like the Black Keys, Arctic Monkeys. It's awesome. Sun's out, beers. And the show hadn't even come out. We'd shot the pilot, but we just moved there, and we were having a blast. Just him and I just exploring the city. And these girls did come up to us, and it was kind of freaked us out a little bit because we didn't know. And he kind of looked at me, he was like, I think we're fucked, mate. He's like, show hasn't even come out yet, man. He's like, this whole thing. That moment is pretty crystallized in my mind because it was all like the Black Keys were playing. It was just like,
You're just being like normal dudes, like sitting, chilling, and then it's like, hello.
That was the very first time I think anyone ever asked for any type of picture. So that was that. I do remember that as being like a defining, like, oh, interesting. That's a weird feeling.
How did you initially handle that like fame and attention?
Not well, actually, not well. It kind of made me paranoid, to be honest.
Really,
like,
it's like a very odd experience as a human being to be like, oh, all those people are staring at me right now and watching me, and they know who I am, and I have no idea who these people are.
They think they know you, right?
Yes.
Like,
and you're like, I'm not Nate Archibald. As much as you want me to be, I am not. My name's Chase. I'm from Texas.
Yeah. And New York's interesting because it's like you get all this influx of people and tourists, and you're not only you're that character in that city. So it's like Mickey Mouse in Disneyland. They all want to see like take a photo with like Mickey. So you feel like they just come up and hug you, and it's like you're in this costume.
Wait, that's
kind of
so
funny.
Weird. Can we talk about that for a minute? Because I didn't even think about that. You're walking then to get breakfast and you're not working. Were people calling you Nate on the street?
All the time. That was it. That was
God.
It was always the character's name. It blurs the lines a lot. When they see you actually in that environment, it's like this whole like their mind is blown, you know. So it was a doubly interesting thing.
And it's also weird. I think it's interesting because I just asked you at the beginning of this, like, oh, could you relate to anything, this character? And you're like, no. And then all of a sudden you went from not being able to relate to anything about this character to like, you almost were becoming a part of this character. It was getting
meta. Yeah, it was weird like that. Yeah.
You're like, I live in New York City. I am getting paparazzi'd. People want to know who I'm dating. And so I started off being like, I can't relate to this fucking kid at all. And now it's like...
Yeah, and I think it was like Perez Hilton or whatever the Gossip Girly thing was at that time was really, I always thought it was like funny stuff, but it was the same thing happening, you know what I mean?